5, 4. Here we go, Roger.
And on Insights, two eyes in the middle. INSiiGHTS, where we always talk the talk.
Did that just a little different one to show the FAMU DRS girls that we had a chance to speak with them earlier in the week. Went by at the request of Coach Ericka Cromartie and went by, had a chance to talk to them. They got a picture hanging up of Milan Clayton in there from when they won the state championship. DRS girls on a roll. Thank you for bearing with me. And how are you, Rick Brown?
What's happening, Coach? Seems like it's championship week.
It seems like that. I know you are a big Super Bowl fan guy and all of that, but before we even get to that, that Natalie White did a heck of a presentation and made some real good impressions on a lot of people. Even Dr. Chiquita Miller sent me a picture of some of the materials that she went online and bought to support her program and made a small donation.
Oh wow, that's what's up. That's what's up. But Natalie did a great job. I mean, and you can tell she is very motivated. And she said it last week. She's found her why, and it is leading her to great things. And it also helps. Well, it doesn't hurt that she went to this fantabulous institution up on a hill up in Tallahassee. So, but if anyone didn't see the show, please see the show and check out Natalie. I mean, she's doing big things, big things. I know Georgia, Fort Valley is very happy for her. Well, should be proud of her.
I'm sure they are. And she continues to give back. We had somebody else to tell us what a great show it was, said that we really, really covered a lot in there. And somebody had made the comment that the black athletes, they need more honest mentors, not just boys and girls clubs that make people rich. They need people that are really interested in their well-being.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty deep.
That is very deep, Coach. Boys, you hear about it, not so much now, but from my era, maybe yours as well. I mean, about the Boys and Girls Club and how much those centers were a mainstay in communities and really provided guidance to the youth then, or at least a place where they wouldn't get in trouble anyway, in my hood anyway. So that's to hear that part of it, that now it's changed a little bit. It's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's always an opportunity. People do different things to exploit our students and our kids. And you always have to be ever vigilant. I mean, you can't even send them to those different places and not make sure they're being chaperoned and watched and things like that. Another comment came about Rosewood, and they said they were glad that we had reminded people about what had happened. And they were just saying that a lot of the senators and people down in Gainesville area did not want to do anything about it. You know, they hated the fact that it was even brought up, and I'm sure of that. And one person said that they were actually there when they brought this lady come in, this older black woman come in, and she talked about what happened and how she saw the people actually getting killed right in front of her, you know, and how she's never lived that down, and it's always been something that white historians have decided that they really didn't want to bring to light. They wanted to act as if it never happened. And I think they said that the city is all burned down, but they said it's one house or something in Rosewood, that it's still there. So that was interesting on its own, Coach.
Coach, I've never watched the movie, and I didn't watch the movie because after watching Mississippi Burning, it triggered me. It just, and so I always said I had to be in the right frame of mind to watch Rosewood. But I have read up on it, and I can read about it, but to see it live, and I know it's a great movie. Everyone's told me. My wife has even said, "Come on, I'll sit with you with it." But for me to see it would, I'm a more visual person, so it would be more powerful to watch it. But I can read about it and take the tragedies that of that tragedy. It really is. It's sad, but I'm glad that the state did right, and hopefully we'll never have to go through that again.
We hope not. We hope not. But speaking along that line, we got a contribution here on the Remembering the Legends from somebody been missing in action about Ken Riley. I know he picked Ken Riley because of the Bengals being in the Super Bowl. And we have Recruiting the Legends, also a Black History moment.
This is a big sports week in sights as the Cincinnati Bengals and Los Angeles Rams prepare to play in the Super Bowl. Also, there will be some honored individuals this week as the league will announce this year's Pro Football Hall of Fame class. I think it's only fitting that we honor one of our own. In this segment of Remembering the Legends, today we pay tribute to Florida A&M and Cincinnati Bengals great, the late Ken Riley. Born August 6, 1947 in Bartow, Florida, Riley came to Tallahassee and played quarterback under Jake Gaither and was part of 3 Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference championships. The epitome of a student athlete, Riley was also a candidate for the prestigious Rhodes Scholarship, but he chose to try the NFL path. Selected in the 6th round by the Cincinnati Bengals, Riley, like most black quarterbacks during that era, was moved to cornerback. But instead of floundering in the new position, Riley flourished. He played 15 seasons with the Bengals and finished with 65 interceptions. He led the conference in interceptions twice, including his final season in 1983, where he was also named first-team All-Pro. His 65 picks are tied for 5th all-time, even today, and he also scored 5 touchdowns. It helped the Bengals reach the Super Bowl, although they lost to Joe Montana and the San Francisco 49ers. But tell me, why isn't he in the Hall of Fame? I digress. After his playing days, Riley answered the call to return to FAMU, but this time as head coach. He had success there too. 2 MEAC championships and 2 MEAC Coach of the Year in 7 seasons. Later, he transitioned into being an athletic director at FAMU before finally coming back home to Polk County. He finished up as Dean of Students at Winter Haven High School before finally retiring and focusing in on his foundation. You want to talk about accomplished? Coach Riley was inducted into the FAMU Hall of Fame in 1977. Inducted into the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame's inaugural class in 2000. He was also a member of the Florida Sports Hall of Fame and the Black College Football Hall of Fame, was named one of the players on the list for the Florida High School Athletic Association's top 33 football players in the state of Florida. Try saying that 3 times fast. As well as he was named in the inaugural Cincinnati Bengals Ring of Honor. Again, tell me, why isn't he in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Coach Riley died June 7th, 2020. But despite COVID, the Lakeland Center was packed with former players he coached and played with on the pro level as well as college level, as well as there were dignitaries throughout the community all there to say their goodbyes to Coach Riley. An honorable and humble man, Coach Riley will always be one of my favorites. His first year at FAMU as head coach was my freshman year on the Hill. When I got the job at the Ledger, he always had time for an interview, either as coach or AD, with his Polk County homeboy, even though he knew I wasn't from Polk. One thing I knew is that Coach Riley never threw anyone under the bus, on or off the record. Not to me. Even when it came to the Hall of Fame, while he always hoped he would get in one day, year after year, he just told me it wasn't his time and that he would not campaign for it. The man didn't brag as a player, he didn't brag as a coach, or even in retirement. Wasn't his style. Now, he can still get in to the Pro Football Hall of Fame through the senior committee, and I believe it will happen eventually. It's just a matter of time. But it's just a shame that it's taken as long as it has and that he won't be around for it. Rest in heaven, Coach Riley.
Yeah, I like the little personal tidbits on there from the time that you knew him and spoke about him. That was all right there, Rick.
You know, Coach Riley was he was interesting, and you dealt with him on many levels. But he was just always funny to me, and he just had this. It seemed like he seemed like a duck, where stuff just rolled off his back. It didn't bother. All right, let me say. I was gonna say it didn't bother him that it bothered him. You could tell he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but um, and I've had talks with people on the Hall of Fame committee and asked them why. Why? Ira Kaufman, who was with the Tampa Tribune, one of my good friends, and he was like, "I always talk him up, man, but there's other people, and he didn't make any Pro Bowls." Well, the Pro Bowls, I mean, they're not all pro. They're not. You don't. I think it was garbage. And just because he didn't self promote, he wasn't one of those rah rah guys. I mean, he wasn't as flashy as his teammate Lamar Parrish was for all those years, or not as flashy as Coach Prime and other corners who are in there. But he was solid and consistent. And you don't have 65 interceptions just being a player and spending 15 years with the same team. I I think that's bogus. I really do. But he'll get in. I am sure of it. The more people keep talking about it, he'll get in. And when he does get in, I think I'm gonna make my second trip to Canton um, to watch that because he deserves it.
Okay, thank you for that. And we actually have a big week this week here in Tallahassee. Well, statewide, people have started. The girls' teams have started, and the boys. That trip to Lakeland, the first steps. We have had 4 teams that have actually survived in the area, and here is one of them. You ready to start?
Yes, sir. We can roll.
Congratulations and welcome. Long established coach, been working here for a while. Congratulations for that success at Monroe, Coach Rod Mack, Monroe basketball.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here as always.
Coach, I'm not even gonna, yes, I am. I'm gonna go back and reflect on the preseason interview and how you tried to be so humble and blow so much smoke on me. I like, yeah, all right, Coach, people don't want to play me, and I don't really know what I got. And I said, Coach, somebody knows something, they won't play you.
Well, you know how that goes preseason. You don't want to let too much out and try and hide as much as possible and stay low key as possible and try and keep your kids humble too.
And that's part of it, Coach. I want to congratulate you. You know, I have to state for the record so that everybody knows how young your team is. I think there's 9 young ladies on the team, no seniors, 1 junior, and they go all the way to 7th grade. You have a team full of babies that were able to comprise a 14-6 record. Coach, what did they do that surprised you?
I think the biggest thing was buying in so soon to what I wanted to do as far as changing the culture and the thought process for basketball here at Monroe. You know, some of the young ladies were Monroe students coming in and didn't mentally understand completely what was needed to be successful. So I think the biggest thing was how early they bought into what I wanted to do for the program. You know, generally it takes a little time for them to understand what the work they have to put in. You know, it's not just going out there and playing the games. It's the off-season workouts and practices. It's the strength and conditioning, the mental aspect of everything that's required from, you know, I've got to be a student athlete. It's not just basketball. So I've got to balance my academics with my basketball. So they really bought into what we wanted to do, and they continue to do so. Even with our last game, you could just see some growth and maturity in some of my kids, especially my 8th grader, Maya Johnson, who stepped up last game and had a really big game. So she's growing every day we step on that floor.
Okay, well, tell us a little about your leading scorer and leading rebounder. Was it Maya McCullough?
Maya McCullough, yes. Maya's a sophomore, great kid, wonderful personality, 3.5+ GPA type kid. She started with me as a post player originally last year. And she's kind of developed her game to where she can stretch the floor a little bit. She knocks down threes for us. Obviously, she's a rim protector. Great teammate. You know, she's just one of those kids that you'd like to have around. She's kind of learning to accept the role as a verbal leader. She is one of my captains. You know, but even she struggles some days, and she's growing and she's learning. But she's someone I think that is going to continue to help this program grow with each year that she's here.
Yeah, she does a lot of things for you, Coach. But to me, the heart pen, the person that holds it all together is your junior. Was Travonda Jackson. I saw her get on Maya when she was out of position. She's kind of a no nonsense. This is where you need to be, and you need to go over there. She handles the ball exceptionally well. She leads your team to me. She's the heart of your team. Now, Maya might be the leading scorer and leading rebounder, and it's very close with your points, but that point guard position for me. Tell us about that young lady and her sister.
Travanda's, when you want to talk about a special kid, when it comes to being a leader, she is hilarious. That kid has a great personality and really wants to win. She does not believe in taking breaks. She logs in pretty much 32 minutes a game for me, and she demands that her teammates play just as hard as she plays. So you'll see her out there. She will. She has no problem telling her teammates, "Hey, you've got to pick this up. We've got to push. We've got to do this. We've got to do that." She's got a little Gaston County blood in her, so she fights real hard in everything she does on the court. And she's another young lady who's a great student. So she doesn't mind getting on her teammates. Her and her sister. You know how that can be when you've got siblings on the court together. But they found a way to make it work. She understands. Her sister Chariya understands who Travanda is. She understands she's going to get on me. So she's learning to grow as a freshman who's playing varsity for the first time and competing against some, players that she's never seen before. But Travanda does make us go. She dictates how our game's going to be defensively. Great on-ball pressure. She reads the defense as well. Played a lot of point this year, probably more than she's used to, and she's learned to control the tempo a lot better for her. She controls that tempo. She helps the young lady stay poised, and she demands that her teammates play just as hard as she plays. So you'll see her out there. She will. She has no problem telling her teammates, "Hey, you've got to pick this up. We've got to push. We've got to do this. We've got to do that." She's got a little Gaston County blood in her, so she fights real hard in everything she does on the court. And she's another young lady who's a great student. So she doesn't mind getting on her teammates. Her and her sister. You know how that can be when you've got siblings on the court together. But they found a way to make it work. She understands. Her sister Chariya understands who Travanda is. She understands she's going to get on me. So she's learning to grow as a freshman who's playing varsity for the first time and competing against some, players that she's never seen before. But Travanda does make us go. She dictates how our game's going to be defensively. Great on-ball pressure. She reads the defense as well. Played a lot of point this year, probably more than she's used to, and she's learned to control the tempo a lot better for her. She controls that tempo. She helps the young lady stay poised, and I'm glad I got at least another year with her. I'll be honest with you. She's a really good basketball player.
Yeah, she's the general that all coaches look for, and she doesn't look to try to be politically correct.
No.
She tells you, and if you have a problem with it, she gives you that look, and you kind of leave it alone. She leads your team, and I've seen you coach. I've seen you watch her do that, and you go over when she starts and sit down because you know she has it handled.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's great to have somebody like that. She's gotten that respect from her teammates. It doesn't always come off well to everyone when you're a teammate of someone who's aggressive and will speak their mind, but the young ladies really respect her, and they understand her will and her willingness to want to win, and they know it's coming from a great place. And that's something we always discuss is understanding constructive criticism. Being able to compete and want to go, and they follow right behind her.
Well, if they're not following her, she's gonna drag them. But
I agree.
but tell me this, Coach. Tell me about Oak Hall. They come in. The game is going to be at your place with 11-4 record. What is your level of expectation?
You're looking at a team they're going to move consistently with or without the ball. They play well as a team. Everybody understands their role. So it's going to be one of those games where we can't take breaks when you're playing a fundamentally sound team such as Oak Hall. They're going to try and do the little things. And as you know, Coach, little things help you win games. So we've got to be aware of their motion and how they cut back door. They have a young lady who leads their team in scoring. So obviously we're going to have to try and find ways to make it uncomfortable for her throughout the game. and really just stay true to what we do best defensively. I think if we can come in there focused, limit their opportunities to score, we can make it a little easier of a game for us.
You have a nice little guard, Tyler Young, a senior. She's the young lady who carries them. What does she do that concerns you?
She's got good size. So her ability to get to the rim and draw fouls is something we've got to be careful about. With a big guard like that, if you reach, if you don't play disciplined defense, make her go east to west, you're gonna have problems with it. So again, she makes her team go, just like Trevonda pushes our team and wills them to win. Sometimes this young lady is going to do that for her team. So obviously, certain players you want to just try and contain. Some people you're not going to be able to stop all the time. So we want to try and contain her, maybe frustrate her a little bit, and see how the other players kind of react to if she's frustrated or having a hard time.
Well, Coach, we want to wish you good luck and continued success. What do you want to say to people or to your fans to try and encourage them to come out and support on Thursday?
Number one, I want to thank everybody who's already come out and supported the program. And, my first year, we really do appreciate everything you've done. We would definitely love to see you Thursday. We'll be right there at 91 Old Mount Pleasant Road. It'll be great game. I promise you won't be disappointed. We're looking to do bigger things here with this program. So if you've not seen us yet, please come check us out. I promise you won't.
Coach, nothing else to be said after that. Much luck and success and continued success. And I'm enjoying watching your babies grow up.
Thank you. I appreciate everything you're doing for us. And
you ready to do the interview, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Okay. With us, Coach Chariya Davis, Hall of Fame from the University of Central Florida, head women's coach at Rickards. Coach, we talked to you in preseason, and you were very excited about this team. And it seems like, when I've seen them play, it's a scrappy group, Coach. What has been your expectations, and have they lived up to what you thought?
They have certainly lived up to what I thought this team could be. We still got more left if we can put it all together. I talked with you before about discipline, eliminating the distractions and the drama, because we're a seasoned team, but yet an experienced team as far as leadership and things of that nature that you need in order to make a good run in the playoffs.
Okay, Coach. Well, it looks like your top two scorers, they're seniors for you. I know they played a real good game against Florida High, one of the better teams in the area. And they had, I know a moral victory means very little, but they played a much better, harder contest that second time when I saw you play against them.
Yes, once we compete, I think we can compete with the best of them. It's just the little things. And I think we got better, as I told you before, after we came from the Christmas trips and we won like a tough 4 games in a row on the road. I think that kind of brought us together. Even though we still have our bumps in the road, I think if we can get over that, overcome those little bumps, that we can be fine. Once we get out and compete, I think we can be a pretty good team.
You have one of your arch rival teams from Jacksonville. It always seems like you have to go through Rains or Ribault, and you have to go through Jacksonville again. What do you know about that team and what you're going to have to do? I
know they're a pretty young team, but, Ribault has a strong history of being a competitive basketball team. So we're not going to take anybody lightly in the playoffs. We're going to, prepare and study film and do what we feel we need to do to win the game. We definitely got to come out and play hard, play together as a team. It's not going to be just go down there and step on the court, you win the game. So we're definitely going to have to compete. I think if we do what we're supposed to do and execute our game plan, I think we'll put ourselves in good shape to win the game.
And one of the things I noticed that Ribault is a little bigger than normal. 5'10", 5'11", 6-foot freshman, 3 freshmen, and then a 6'1" sophomore. That must be nice to have height that size and be that young, Coach.
Yeah, I remember playing them against them when they had Chariya Davis, and she was a 6'3" wing. And I forgot Day, I can't remember her name, but oh my God. So not as tall as when we played them the last time. But definitely, you know, they got some height and some youth. So we got to make sure we're on our P's and Q's when we go on Thursday.
Ribault likes to press, don't you? They kind of do some things that you like to do. They're one of those pressing teams that get after you the whole time you're in there, don't they?
Yes, sir, they do. They kind of like a mirror of what we do. So we have to be prepared. You know, a lot of times people like press a team that likes to press and see what you can get. So I think, like I said, I think we're prepared, you know, for their press. We have to prepare for up-tempo, a team that's going to be scrappy and feisty, like what we kind of had with Pine Forest. So each night is going to be a battle. So I think we'll prepare them, and it's going to be up to them to execute it.
Okay. When you go to Ribault, do you typically carry some Rickards fans with
you? Yeah, we actually have supportive parents and a supportive group of people that follow the program no matter where we're at. I know when we were in Jacksonville, we have some former alumni of Rickards that live there. They always so excited to see us come down for the Christmas tournaments. And then we pick up some people that like our style of basketball and just say, hey, Coach, you really enjoy watching your team come down every day. So I think Rickards is a well-known program. So wherever we go, we got some fans with us.
Okay, Coach, because we know they're going to have some people in there for Ribault. Boy, it's a raucous gym up in that camp.
Yes, sir, I do know.
Man, well, we're really excited, and we're, hopeful that you do well, Coach, and that we can talk to you again as you prepare for another contest, that you come back with a W from Jacksonville.
Yes, sir.
And we wish the Rickards Raiders good luck, Coach, and thank you for taking time to talk with us.
Oh, no problem, Coach. I appreciate it.
Now, you saw me trying to get you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Coach, I want to congratulate you on this outstanding season that you are having.
Thank you so much.
Something, Coach.
Yeah, I was like you said, we lost to a very, very good Florida High team twice and a good Orange Park team, 5A. So the losses we did have, of course, you don't want to lose them, but they're a great team.
Coach, Orange Park is 22-5. I mean, they're just not a 5A team. They're a 5A team that's winning. They're a good team.
They are. I spoke with the coach the other day. He called and wished me good luck. I didn't even know him. We just, I guess, developed a good rapport. And he called and wished me good luck and told me some things about teams in his area that I might have to face.
Okay, Coach, tell me, you got a tough one coming up here Thursday against St. Augustine Academy, I think. They got a young lady over there, almost like your girl. She's averaging about 20 points a game. Coach, what are you going to have to do to be able to advance?
Well, as the girls will tell you, we preach defense, defense, defense. We continue to play sound nose defense and press and don't turn the ball all over, we'll be fine. If we do our part, everything else will fall in place. But I have seen her, and I'm very aware of her. So, yes.
Okay, Coach, one thing you have is you have an outstanding support. What do you want to say to make sure you encourage people to come Thursday to see you and support you as they have?
Come on out, see an awesome game with an awesome team, be a part of the run to Lakeland. Help us punch our tickets in and come in and give us all the support we need to move forward.
Coach, I've seen you play a couple times.
Really?
I've seen you play a couple times, and your girls get after it defensively, and they really play hard for you. It seems as if they really know their role. And I think it's one of the better teams that you've had.
Okay. I mean, coming from you, I really thank you for that. Because I know you've seen some teams and you coached some great teams. So thank you.
Yeah, Coach. They don't know quit. They just they don't think anybody's supposed to beat them. They just have that mental toughness that I like. So I'm hoping for you to go to get to Lakeland, but they don't seem to back off.
That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, this year, like, I'm sure in the past people will be like, oh, you know, they're gonna get that, and I still believe that this year, but it's gonna take a collective effort because we got some teams that's in our region that's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, we just got to play our game.
Well, Coach, explain to us how they do this now in terms of you win the district and you advance, but then it's not like it used to be where the top 2 teams advance. They go back and do some type of seeding and advance. Explain to people.
So with us, it was only 4 teams in our region or our district or whatever. So the first 2 still went, and so now for the playoffs, we are playing the number 8 team in our side, and the runner up Osceola is playing, like, I want to say the second best team in our side. So of course they won't play us right back, but it's a chance they can get back to us.
Okay. I know that you're a defensive oriented program. What will you need and who will you need it from for you to advance to Lakeland?
Everybody that's playing, everybody on the bench, everybody. I'm for real, because, like, you can't just depend on certain people to play defense and then everybody else is lacking. Like, we need everybody. That's how we're gonna win the state championship this year, is defense. You know, offense, you know, everybody wants to see the oohs and the ahs, but defense really is what makes us win.
Well, tell me about your senior who's averaging 19.9 points a game, but what's the stat that is popping out to me? Is this accurate? 7.4 steals a game?
Yes. And see where she is, if you ever seen us play, where she is, she's like the rover on the press. So the 2 guards in the front, you know, they do their job to, you know, make sure that, you know, that person that has the ball can't really see over, and all Mira has to do is just sit there, kind of like, you know, just watching, and then she just jumps to the ball. So she has the best position on the court, and she does a great job to take advantage of it.
How long has she been with you, Coach?
Ooh, since the 8th grade.
So she knows what you've been trying to teach her and what to look. You work with her a lot.
Oh yeah, that's my captain. Every message I give to the girls, it goes through her. You know, I send her, hey, send this out to the girls. Hey, tell the girls do this. Because, I mean, like I said, she's been with me that long. You know, we have that rapport. We have a special bond, I would say. My goal is to make sure she gets a scholarship, which she will. But that's my goal. I mean, yes, I want to win state championship, don't get me wrong, but right there, that's something I will make sure she gets this year.
How is her recruiting going?
It's going pretty good. A couple of small schools, actually schools that want to play flag football as well in college. So she'll have to make some decisions soon.
Okay. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time to talk with us, and we wish you good luck on Thursday. You won a 4-area team still playing, and we hope that we can have another conversation with you before you go to Lakeland.
And I just want to say congratulations to all the area teams. I wish them the best as well. And sorry for the technical difficulties, but next time we meet, it's going to be smooth sailing.
Thank you very much. This is Coach Ericka Cromartie, FAMU High, FAMU DRS, the Baby Rattlers, whatever you want to call them. We hope to be calling them state champions and winners. Good luck.
Yeah. Thank you.
Who you keep looking at, man?
People walking by my office, man, trying to come in.
Okay, Coach, I'm gonna need you to focus for about 5 minutes now.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Congratulations and welcome to Coach Darryl Marshall, Florida High. Lady Seminoles, y'all have had a successful season so far. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Man, What has this team done that has surprised you, or did they live up to your expectations?
Coach, listen, they passed my expectation of this year. I mean, and they did that early. I thought that we would have to come in and fix a lot of issues that I thought would have to happen. But, they came together quickly. It started in the summer at FSU team camp, where we played. I want to say it was St. Thomas Aquinas, one of the top teams in the state, and they won their state championship last year. So, and we battled them for 2 games. We battled them, and one was without Tony and Nadia, and we battled the first game with them, and that just set a tone. I think that game right there set a tone. And when Tony and Nadia came back, we lost by 1, but it was just the fact that this group of girls can hang with the big dogs. So now it was just about continuing to trusting each other, continuing to build, and understanding roles, because roles were different. But right now, man, I'm just pleased and happy, that they came together and made it this far, man.
They seem to be a team led by your 2 seniors, Tony and Aria, that have actually handled their share of adversity, even with COVID and some things. And Coach, your team battled through maybe as difficult as anybody in the area, just trying to get healthy.
Right. I mean, we went to Miami to the Junior Orange Bowl at the end of December. We came back. We had some COVID issues, but we missed 7 games this month, from the month of January alone.
Wow.
7 games. So, battling us getting sick from that trip, and then just other teams backing out because of their own issues, so it could take its toll on a team if they're not in line and in sync of a common goal. And unfortunately, should I say, these group of girls love each other. So it just made the bond even that much stronger, so then they stay focused. And then with that, in the middle of that process, you're beating Wakava, which came in 3rd ranked in the state of Florida at that time. So, that just speaks testament to the senior leadership and the girls as a whole.
Yes, obviously Tony and Aria have been exceptional for you for the last 4 and 5 years. But Coach, talk about some of the other players that have stepped up to assist that process, because it's the epitome of a team.
Lanaya Guinea, and Chrissy Falls, man. Those young ladies stepped up so much this year. Once again, coming from Lanaya Guinea, coming from that Miami trip, we lost to Miami Senior. We got beat 25. Tony had 21. We had the next highest score had 3 points. And that was just, we need help. She cannot do this by herself. Adia got to stay consistent, but Lanaya Guinea, man, when we got back from the break and we got healthy, Tony took Lanaya under her wing every day after practice. They getting up an extra 30, 45 minutes of shots before we get out of practice normally at 7:15. Those 2 not leaving the gym to 7:45, 8 o'clock after shooting. So, it's just that leadership, and Lanaya stepping up her game, averaging double figures just this month, has made a threat. And Chrissy, with her size in the post, understanding that having a presence in the post doesn't mean that she has to score 20 points a game. It's rebounding and defending, clogging up that paint. And she has taken that role and went to new levels.
You're going to need her in the matchup that you have coming up. They got a 6'3" freshman in the middle that gets things done for them. So that's always been kind of an Achilles heel for you. How do you feel headed into this one with how she's playing in the middle?
I'm comfortable. I'm confident, man. And then you have her back up with Kiana Mackey, the volleyball player. She doesn't come in and score a lot, but she can jump out the gym. You know, she's a real athletic young lady, jump out the gym, block shots, and can run the floor in transition, and can catch and make a layup. You know, so with those two different styles of post players, if you want to say, you know, I'm very comfortable going in matching up against anybody. You know, that fear went out the window once again that Wakaiva game when they had a good post player, and you know they held their own against her. So I'm comfortable moving forward.
One of the things about it is the fact that you now have somebody who's a center that can play the post, where you don't have to have a 3 play to 4 and a 4 play to 5, so you get mismatched all the way down the board. You know, if you can get somebody in there at that size, and some of your other young ladies can play their natural positions, which I think makes it easier for you, doesn't it, Coach?
Yes, it does. It does. It keeps everyone in their natural position, understanding their natural roles, and it makes them that much focus on their assignments, you know, and taking the pressure off of all I need to do is be able to catch, shoot, drive, make the right pass, you know, let me box out on the weak side, you know, not just watching Chrissy or Kiana try to out rebound everybody, but if I take care of my man on the box out on the weak side, you know, that leaves them one-on-one on the inside, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to win that battle. So it makes the game easier for everyone.
What are you going to have to do to make a deep run, Coach, starting with Thursday?
Starting with Thursday, one, we got to continue to focus game by game. We cannot look ahead, can't worry about who beat who and who's playing what. Name of the game is win in advance, you know, so we got to focus on that one game. But outside of staying healthy is just staying consistent and staying trusting each other, staying consistent at doing the right things. You know, we play our brand of basketball, stay consistent with that. I don't see us not making it to Lakeland.
Okay. You said your brand of basketball. What is your brand of basketball?
We are a defensive pressure team. So we hang our hat on. This is the best defensive team I've had in the 7 years, where we're holding people right around 45, 50 points a game, I think. And you know, so we hang our hat on that. On the offensive end, you know, obviously we still want to. We got 4 guards, you know, multi-guard system. So you cannot just focus on any one. And sharing the basketball and getting the best open shot. You know, we want to score it in transition as quick as possible, but if not, we got our sets to exploit the zones.
Okay.
So, but we hang our hat on defense, man. We really do. This best defensive team that I think I've had in a while, and that showed at the Rickards game. You know, I think we went 15 for 41 or something like that, but still holding them to 39, 40 points, you know, and getting that win, and that was all on the defensive end, you know, defensive rebounding. So that's Florida high basketball this year.
Okay. Tell me something, and you know, I'm the old man. I'm not the smartest, sharpest tool in the box. Florida School for the Deaf and Blind. Florida School for the Deaf and Blind. So I'm okay. So explain that to me, because somebody said, they asked me, said, well, Coach, how they playing basketball if they're blind? I'm like,
so they're all deaf. They're not blind, so they're deaf, and it's amazing to see. They only give respect to that. But outside of that, it's just like us. You know, like you said, they got the big girl in the inside. She's very active. They got number 4, I forgot her name.
here we go. Technical difficulties. Interesting. You know, at the end of the day, I could get a whole lot more followers if I did spring football, showed the guys at practice, see what they were doing. But when I started this, the thing that I was not going to do was overlook women's sports. And I really didn't care how much support we got. But those young ladies and their programs and the teams deserve an opportunity to be seen and heard and to be promoted. So we have made sure that throughout what we've done, we've always shown girls basketball. You know, with my history of starting the women's basketball program at Florida A&M, my daughters having played at Florida High, FAMU High, North Florida Christian, having won some state championships at those schools, it was always important to us that we illustrated the successes of these programs. The coaches are always appreciative and of having an opportunity. And I've had one coach say that, you know, they have learned interviewing techniques by the process that we go through with them as well. And they're a lot more comfortable doing the interviews. And that's, you know, another byproduct of us doing this. Isn't always about the students, but about the coaches and opportunities as well. You know, we tell them you have to look at it. Each one is a job interview. And you never know who's going to see you and make a comment in terms of how well you interview, how well you sell your programming yourself, and may come to you for a job opportunity. So this has just been something, you know, we wanted to do to cover the girls' sports. We have some teams that, you know, we hope that at least one makes it to Lakeland. It's just interesting to see and to watch how they do. And we made a comment about Florida High team. They had two girls that'll be playing in the ACC next year. And it always bothered me that we would see talent, boys and girls, and find out that student athlete played in Tallahassee, and we never knew anything about them. And it concerned me because I was a basketball guy and hadn't heard about them. And if I had knew they were in the city and played like that, I would go see them play. Now, Tony Morgan, Audio Young, I mean, those two young ladies from Florida High, and they've been playing and starting for 3-4 years. We did the pregame. Audio was the one that had all the knee surgeries and back-to-back ACLs, and that's the, you know, Carlton Young's daughter. You know, and Tony has just been, you know, she's been compared to Jasmine Jones in terms of being so athletic. And wow. Jasmine was in the league for a while, you know, so I support these young ladies, their programs, their coaches, parents, and we appreciate their support.
Yes. You know what I found interesting about all of the interviews? I heard one word that really touched my heart, really. Defense. I love defense. And all the coaches said defense. They and that's why they're there. And that's what they do. I mean, hey, and what's the old saying? It's defense that wins championships. So if you have a good defensive team and they can transition into their breaks and all, oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm really interested about that Rickards game though, going down to Ribault. That will be a fun game to watch.
It's you know, and it's a rivalry game because they always have to go through Ribault or Reigns to get there. You know, and one of the things that we talked to the teams about, because we opened with the picture with FAMU High, that we had a chance that we were asked by Coach Cromartie to come and talk to the team. One of the things that surprised me was that they didn't know that I had actually started the women's basketball team at FAMU. But FAMU High also had us, you know, talk to the boys right when the season started. But if I had to sit here, having seen each one of these teams play and some other teams, so I guess we saw probably 10, 12 teams in the area. One of the things that's key for them to advance is a common thread among all of them is the discipline. If you don't have a disciplined ball club, you know, it's like lighting a firecracker that'll work sometimes and it's wet and sometimes it won't work. You don't know what you have. And we were always taught, Coach Gaither told us, discipline starts at when you have practice 4 o'clock in the morning. Discipline starts when you're in the weight room and you don't want to do it, but you're in there working. Discipline doesn't start with on the last play of the game with 5 seconds left if you'll follow your instructions. Discipline starts way before then, so coach actually knows what they have. He said, Coach, as you go through the process with your team, he said, you make practice way more difficult than you make game. Find out who's going to quit on you in practice before you find out in a game who's going to quit on you. Because if they quit on you in practice, they're going to quit on you in the game. So make it difficult for them so you know who your players are and who the ones aren't, so you know them. So as we evolve some, we just said, so you know the pretenders from the contenders. You know, you have to have a team that's single-minded purpose. They have to have that commitment. I have had teams that sat in the gym and decided they weren't going to lose again. I remember we went to University of Central Florida, and I told FAMU High about this. We went to University of Central Florida. They had called it so badly. They shot like 50-something free throws to our 8. And we were eating at Red Lobster that night, and I was standing outside. And I looked behind me. Coach Coleman, my loyal assistant coach, was standing behind me. And he said, Coach, you need to come on in and eat. And I said, I just don't feel like eating. He said, well, I just thought I'd let you know that if you don't eat, your team isn't eating. And so he put his shoulder, and my whole team was standing behind me.
Wow.
And they said, Coach, they said, we're not going to eat till you eat. They said, we're a team. And they said, Coach, what happened to us again will never happen again. We went on a 9-10 game winning streak. We went back to UCF because they had state tournament then. We went back to UCF for the state tournament, and they were focused. And the officiating was just as bad. You know what they did? As each girl would file out, because they filed out about 5. They said, file them out. We got another girl just as good to take her place. We ain't going nowhere. And when a girl would file out, they'd clear a spot on the bench for her to sit. They're supposed to sit next to the coach. They file and say, up, that's the 3rd one. It's all right, we got another one. That's the 4th one. That's all right, we got another one. We came back and won that game. It wasn't me. It wasn't any great coaching I did or anything I called differently. It was within the team that they decided that was not going to happen again. And they were unified in their pursuit of success after that. They said, Coach, this is one of those lessons. We always talk about how people try to take stuff from you. They're going to for real have to take this because we're not having that.
How often does that happen, though? I mean, to have a team so special that they are one unit.
That's why you hear coaches talk sometimes when they have one that's like that, because it's so rare. That's why they hold those teams in such high esteem, because you don't have, or you have that one person that unifies the team. Rosa Hudgens. We losing to somebody at halftime. We in Gaither. I'm walking down the foyer to the locker room, and the trainer stops me. I said, what's wrong with you? He said, Coach, don't go down. I said, what's wrong with you? He said, Rosa is going off. Coach, you might not need to say nothing, but don't interrupt her. So I said, okay. So I go down to the locker room and stand next to the locker room. Oh, she cussing them out. She said, if we don't win this game, I'm gonna line you so-and-so's up in single file line, and I'm gonna whip each ASS one by one, and y'all can't whip me. But y'all gonna have to, damn it, come to play. I turned around, went back in the locker room, and I went back on the gym floor, got me some water, and sat down and waited for Rosa to bring the team back up. I mean, you just have people who lead by different ways. Now, all of these teams were challenged this year because we kind of made comment about the COVID issues. And the Rickards Florida High game, you had – see, this is the part that really kind of bothers me. You don't ever know because people don't really – they're not really covered that well. You got teams that's out for a week, out for 2 weeks. You got games that's canceled all through the season. You don't know what's going on until somebody on the team or a family member tells you that the team has been in quarantine. Or some schools will put them in quarantine for an extended period of time, and other schools didn't put them in quarantine at all. So you had people dealing with a lot of different issues, and they had people coming out of quarantine and been in quarantine for 10 days and haven't done anything, been in the house and come out there and try to play. That's a little difficult to do. You got different programs. Some that have basketball teams just to have basketball teams. And they don't play all the way through the season because they don't have all the kids there. So it was one of the critical things about your team is scheduling. When you if you have an established team, it doesn't matter. You'll play anybody. But when you have a younger team trying to get together, you try to get them a couple games early in the season to kind of let them get their confidence going. You're looking at your break. In college, it's Thanksgiving and Christmas. You're looking at those breaks and you trying not to let them get a week to 10 days off at Christmas because you starting them from scratch when you bring them back. So you try to play, and if you're going to play through Christmas in college, we try to play somewhere where the kids wanted to go during the holiday. We went to California one time during Christmas. You try to go somewhere where it's a nice trip for them to go to a tournament or something. So if they give up, a lot of their holiday, that it's worth it. And for some of the parents to have them playing somewhere where they like to travel and go follow them, they're in a different part of the country for a few days, then the parents try to go too. But you always try to give them a couple days off, but you can't give them past maybe the 23rd through the 26th. Anything after that, it's a crapshoot when you get them back because the guys may run. I remember when I played, I ran in the snow when I went back home for Cleveland because I didn't want to die at practice. But a lot of young ladies don't do that. And when they come back, you starting all over. So it's a lot to it. But I wish each one of the teams good luck. But, they have to come together as a team and play as a team and not let external forces influence who they are and what they're doing. And sometimes those external forces are coming from within the team.
Preach.
Yeah. So it comes from within the girls. Man, I could tell you stories. I could tell you stories. And then there's some stories my teams have told me I don't know what happened, and they said I should be past the 20-year limit. They said they were gonna come back during a reunion and tell me some of the things that I didn't know. And I said, I at least wait 20 years for me to know. 30 years, I won't be mad because I'll be probably dementia then and Alzheimer's, so I won't even know who you are when you tell me about it. But I really, really want to, recognize these girls' teams and see how they do. By the time we come back next week, I think they play Thursday and Tuesday. I think it's Thursday. They play this Thursday, and I think they play next Tuesday. I'm not sure, but we'll have an update, and hopefully some of these teams are still playing.
All right.
To be honest, I think all four of them can win Thursday. I think all four of them that we interviewed today can win Thursday. And our executive producers going by tapping their watch saying that our time is up. But one of the things that we want to talk about, we got a special guest next week, Chris Ayers from FAMU High, played at FAMU High, is now the assistant women's basketball coach at the University of Mississippi. And I saw him on the bench earlier this week in a game that Mississippi had. So we're going to have him on live as a special guest, talk a little bit about the things he went through in his evolution from a FAMU high knucklehead to assistant women's basketball coach at FAMU High. You know, he married one of our former players. They have 2 girls and doing well. And they should be athletes themselves. Mom and dad could play. So, you know, we are very proud of Chris and his accomplishments, and we appreciate people coming to us, letting us know about some of these students and recommending them to us in terms of covering them. Because if they didn't tell us, we really wouldn't know. We really wouldn't know. Anything in closing, Rick?
Good luck to the teams up there. Run to Lakeland, and hopefully, like you said, one could get there so I can slide back to old Polk County and maybe check them out. So good luck.
Who you picking for the Super Bowl?
Anyone but the Cowboys. Oh, I really like the Bengals quarterback, Joe Burrow, but I think this is the Rams' year. They're at home. Hey, make it 2 in a row. It took 55 years for one team to play at home for the Super Bowl. Now it's 2 in a row. Let's go, Rams.
Well, you know, being a Cleveland Brown, they're still kind of down on OBJ playing, and I wish OBJ luck, but he never wanted to play in Cleveland. And when he got traded there from the Giants, he said they traded him to Cleveland to die. Now, he asked other teams and coaches to come get him during the game. He would ask them to come get him. He didn't play with the effort that he's playing now, regardless if Baker could get it to him or not. But he never really sold out and died for his quarterback. I mean, he never did. So I'm glad that he could sulk his way to a team and be rewarded for it. You know, he's gone. I wish him good luck. I wish him good luck. You know, I have nothing. I think he's very talented, but I kind of like Burrows, and it's just amazing to me the mutilation that he's taken and getting up and playing. I mean, he sacked 9 times in a game earlier. You know, the negative on that is, and we're gonna close, but the negative on that is they talked about these quarterbacks getting hurt. Lamar Jackson got hurt and derailed the Ravens season because he wasn't having his best season, but they were winning. And he was winning without having any help. And once he got hurt, it was over with. Burrows already has had a torn ACL last year. You know, Baker was having a decent year. He got hurt and never did recover this year. So, you know, if you don't keep your quarterback upright and healthy, at some point, it's going to make a difference. Rick, I appreciate you as always there.
Coach.
You know, we do what we do, and we enjoy doing it. And we still have some things coming down the pike because we continue to evolve and continue to reinvent ourselves.
From INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle, INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.
See you, Coach.
Peace, brothers. Stay safe. Enjoy the weekend.